Animosity, movie freaks everywhere. This is Groovy Irv letting it all hang out with a look at flicks from or about the swinging 1960s and sinful 1970s. Gather round, cause today we're amping out to the far out flicks of Hal Ashby. Sure, most people look at the 60s and 70s and think of swinging cinematic masters like Altman, Kubrick, or De Palma. These cats are no-brainers, but my man Ashby concocted a string of movies that not only turned us on then, but turn us on now. What's my evidence for Hal Ashby's greatness? Dig. In The Landlord, Beau Bridges plays a young man from a prejudiced Long Island family who inherits an impoverished Brooklyn apartment building and soon learns how the other half lives. This one's not on DVD, but Harold and Maude is. It's about a romance developing between an elderly, life-loving Maude, played by Ruth Gordon, and a seriously upset young man, played by Bud Cort. The groovy music's by Cat Stevens, and it's a cult classic. But it ate the big weenie at the box office. However, it caught on later as a cult smash. And if you thought Easy Rider was a trippy road trip movie, just feast your peepers on Ashby's The Last Detail. Here, the young and ever-cool Jack Nicholson plays a salty Navy dog who escorts Randy Quaid to the brig for thievery. As a Lothario hairdresser working when Richard Nixon first takes office, Warren Beatty excels in having his way with such foxy femmes as Julie Christie, Goldie Hawn, and Lee Grant. Woo. Shampoo washed over us in 1975, just after Tricky Dick flashed out of the White House. And then there's David Carradine. David, baby, we hardly knew ye. But in the 1976 movie Bound for Glory, the late great star of Kung Fu and Kill Bill played his finest role as politically active songwriter Woody Guthrie, who had a thing or two to say about Depression-era Dust Bowl America. What tilted these tumultuous times would be complete without Coming Home, the compelling 1978 story of war veterans handicapped during combat in Vietnam. Jon Voight stars as the quadriplegic Luke, with Bruce Dern playing a war hero married to Jane Fonda. Ashby closed out the decade with 1979's Groovy Being There, translating the acclaimed novel by Jerzy Kosinski. Peter Sellers takes the part of the gardener whose vacuous TV-inspired gab is misinterpreted as political genius. That's an amazing far-out streak of success, and it's nearly forgotten. But Ashby, who checked out much too soon in 1988 at the age of 58, has been getting some posthumous kudos. He was recently honored in LA with screenings of his films. Looking to get out, one of his last and largely unseen works was freshly recut by star Jon Voight, and a dead bang biography called Being Hal Ashby by Nick Dawson just made the scene from the University of Kentucky Press. Readers digging this book will learn about Ashby's journey as a kid from Ogden, Utah, to an American wanderer, to a young editor under William Wyler and Norman Jewison. Ashby copped the Oscar for Best Editor for In the Heat of the Night, and then he jumped into feature films with Norman Jewison as his mentor. His personal life was stormy. Oftentimes it was just a real drag. Married 5 times, drug addiction, constant battles with the studios, and some serious health problems. But the book makes plain why actors love working with him. Ashby was open-minded and loved to collaborate. He didn't make all winners, though. The Hamster of Happiness with Robert Blake and 8 Million Ways to Die with Jeff Bridges hit the skids mostly because of studio interference, and his inability to bow to the demands of knuckle-dragging Hollywood executives didn't help either. Thanks to the new bio, the career retrospective, and the films themselves, though, Hal Ashby's life, career, and films are finally being put back in front of the psychedelic spotlight, where they rightfully belong. What's with this deal? It's moving.